Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, ये जो है 7 लेक्चर है थर्मोडायनेमिक्स का। जो लोग अभी तक प्रीवियस लेक्चर नहीं देखा, प्लेलिस्ट में जाके देख सकते हो। ओके, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन जो है, थर्मोडायनेमिक स्केल ऑफ द टेम्परेचर इज बेस्ड ऑन एक्सपेंशन ऑफ द गैसेस, चेंज इन प्रेशर ऑफ द गैसेस, कार्नोट इंजन, चेंज इन वेपर प्रेशर। फ्रेंड्स, बी इज द आंसर, चेंज इन प्रेशर ऑफ द गैसेस। फ्रेंड्स, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, the rate of change of enthalpy with respect to the temperature when pressure is held constant is known as, okay, a specific entropy at constant pressure, entropy at constant pressure, specific heat at constant pressure, heat at constant pressure, change in enthalpy, specific heat at constant pressure। जो बोलता जो specific change in entropy with respect to temperature when the volume is constant, this process is called which? कमेंट में मुझे बताना। फ्रेंड्स, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एन आइडियल गैस इज compressed isothermally, the process is a reversible process, b irreversible process, c neither reversible or irreversible, d nothing can be said till other restrictions are known। आइडियल गैस को कंप्रेस्ड कर रहा है आइसोथर्मली, दिस इज द रिवर्सिबल प्रोसेस। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रेंड्स, a graph plotted for the PV against P for and the ideal gas is a straight line parallel to the PV axis, a straight line parallel to the P axis, a hyperbola, D an inclined line passing through the origin and the making an angle of the 45-degree with the P axis, B a straight line parallel to the P axis। Next question friends, an adiabatic change temperature T and the volume V are related to adiabatic change T V to the power gamma equal to constant, B V by T equal to constant, C T V to the power gamma minus 1 equal to constant, D V to T to the power gamma minus 1 equal to constant, C T V to the power gamma equal to constant। कैसे होगा, यानी P V to the power gamma equal to you know the constant, so P V equal to MRT और P इक्वल टू MRT बाई V। सो इसको यहाँ पे पुट करोगे तो आएगा P V टू दी पर गामा माइनस 1 इक्वल टू कॉन्स्टेंट 1 बाई V चला जाएगा, सॉल्व कर सकते हो। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ द थर्मोडायनामिक्स इज लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ A momentum, B energy, B both momentum and energy, D temperature। We know that the first law is conservation of energy। Next question, certain quantities cannot be located on the graph by a point but are given by area under the curve corresponding to the process. The quantities in the concept of the thermodynamics are called as cyclic function, path function, point function, real function. This is the path function, depend on the path। Next question, liquids have A no specific heat, B different values of the specific heat at the same temperature, only one value of the specific heat, two distinct value of the specific heat। Liquids have only one value of the specific heat. Gases, for gases have the two specific heat, one is the constant volume, one is the constant pressure। Total heat supplied at a constant volume में बोला है MCV dt, MCV dt यानी T2 minus T1, this is the answer T। Next question friends, an isotopic process, isopistic process, the temperature remains constant, volume remains constant, P to the power gamma V equal to constant, pressure remains constant। isopistic यानी pressure remains constant। Next question friends, entropy, viscosity, temperature, specific heat and constant volume, which one of the properties of the system are extensive property? Extensive यानी मास इंडिपेंडेंट और द स्पेस इंडिपेंडेंट। एंट्रोपी होगा, ठीक है, द इज द राइट, विस्कोसिटी नहीं है, मास इंडिपेंडेंट, this is mass independent, extent, intensive, they are the intensive property, independent, sorry, independent properties. So one is the answer, the extensive property. It's depend on the mass of the system. Extensive yani mass dependent. Next question, which one of the following statement is incorrect? Work is high grade energy, heat is low grade energy. Low grade energy can be converted into high grade energy in a cycle. None of these three is. Next question, friends. Which one of the following statement is true? A. Two reversible adiabatic paths intersect at a point. B. Two reversible adiabatic paths can never intersect to each other. C. Two properties like a line can never intersect to each other. D. Both two reversible adiabatic paths can never intersect to each other and two properties line can never intersect to each other. D is the answer perfectly. Next question. Isochoric processes are also called as. Isochoric is a constant volume process, constant flow rate process, constant pressure process, constant temperature process. A constant volume process. Extensive property of a system is one whose values depends on the mass of the system like volume, does not depend on the mass of the system like temperature, pressure, etc. Does not depend on the path followed by the state, is depend on the path followed by but not the state. B is the answer. सॉरी फ्रेंड्स, एक्सटेंसिव बोला है, इंटेंसिव होगा। एक्सटेंसिव तो ये डिपेंड करता है एक्सटेंसिव में।